Hi, welcome to my tutorial, and today we're going to go over some tips on how to make hair, or, well, how I do hair. This is specifically in response to a request that a friend made of me, so I'm going to be focusing more on the style of hair that they were going over. Obviously, this doesn't go over all hair types at all. This is just some general tips for how I do hair, especially long, flowy, fun hair. I really love long, flowy hair. So I hope you guys will like this, and let's dig in. First of all, sorry if I sound a bit sick. I am. Um, there's also possibly a screaming cat in the background because she wants attention, and well, I can't give that right now. I'm doing a tutorial, but I'll make sure to give her attention later. So, first of all, let's get into the steps. You want to define your hairline because that tells you where the hair is growing from and where the hair won't just be at. I find that this step always helps me, and it keeps me from making weird foreheads. If you can't add a hairline, that does tend to mean that your facial proportions might be a bit off. So if you're having issues adding hairline, that might be part of the reason why. Notably, if you're making, say, a cat girl type character, something where the ears come out at a different angle, you might want to cover up the little bit of hair near where the ear would be, so that way you can hide where the human ears would be. But other than that, you don't need to worry about it too much. Then you want to define the big overall shapes, and then you want to start breaking those down and trying to make pretty elegant movements, you know? Now, usually I do just kind of have the big overall shapes in mind when I'm drawing them, and the biggest thing I'm really trying to focus on is just making those big swoopy shapes, making good shape design and shape language. You know, that kind of thing. I try to keep that sort of thing in mind so that way the hair looks natural and flows. I find it helps to think of it as ribbons or water. Depending on what kind of hair you're drawing, you might also think of it as, oh, hello, kitten, how are you? You want to say something to the video? Oh dear, are you okay? Sorry, she just fell off the couch over there. That would be my kitty. She's okay. She does have wobbly cat syndrome though, so you know. Yes, I love you too. You're okay. Say hi to everyone. Quite the sound you got there. So I hope y'all could hear that. She says hi. Okay, so it's important to remember to section things up. Hair is made up of sections. You may have these big overall shapes, but those shapes are made of smaller shapes and then even smaller. You know, keeping in mind the idea of big, medium, small can help a lot here, as well as weight and things like that. And I will say you should definitely be paying attention to the notes I'm writing down on the screen because they are very helpful, and at least I hope they are. And they do explain better what specifically is going on screen, as I am recording this later as an additional thing to the video itself. Here I'm just doing a little bit more work to try to make this look good. I fussed with this section for a bit here just because I wasn't liking how that one hair looked, and I realized that it might be useful to show that you kind of have to pay attention to how you have the pieces that are sectioned up flow into each other, and how you can mess with that to make things look more natural and cooler. A lot of beginner artists think that they need to do every individual strand of hair because they'll see these really detailed looking and intricate looking drawings that have all these pretty flyaway hairs and things. But you really don't have to do that to make hair look good or realistic. though we're doing a more anime style look here, this will apply to more realistic style too. It still all comes down to sectioning things up and simplifying. You want to get the overall shape, break it down a little, and go forward from there. You can actually use this for a lot of different things. If you're doing something other than hair, like say grass or something like that, big overall shape, break it down. Then do more details, Keeping in mind that hair is, of course, again, like ribbons in a lot of ways, which can help if you're trying to layer things or make things flow and curl in an interesting way. It can help to, specifically if you think about the plasticky ribbons that are attached to balloons, I think of it a lot like that. Over on the left, you can see a practice area I've drawn down that you might want to pause to look at. This shows just me practicing and how I would normally practice for making hair look nice, You kind of want to practice this with and without a head, try out different textures and hair types, look at references. Trust me, it's not cheating. You are absolutely allowed to use references, and anyone that says otherwise is being overly cautious and probably got scared by some people online that were being really pressury about it, I mean, obviously, if you're gonna overly reference anything and it's clearly obvious where you referenced it from, you should of course credit that, but that's its own thing, and maybe someday I'll do a video on the difference between tracing and referencing and how to do those sorts of things ethically. Or, well, the ethics of those things. Now, to finish this video off, we're going to go over just all those steps over again, a little bit of shading stuff, mostly just, my tip of treat it like a ribbon when you're shading it, because that helps so much. It's why hair has those weird little round circle type shades in anime with the glowy halo-like thing or the wiggly lines. Hair is basically just a bunch of tiny ribbons when you get down to it, size-wise. Well, not size-wise, I mean shape-wise. So keep that in mind when you're shading, and I would like to add that using textured brushes can help a lot if you do want a more realistic look, and that this all can work whether or not you're using line art or anything like that. It's more so just about the shapes than it is about a specific style, Every style needs good shapes, and the better your shapes are, the more confident your style will look. Same with, not having overly shaky or brushy lines, but you can still get a good style anyways. Don't worry too much about style, though. Focus on doing things the way that makes you happy and looks cool, and it'll be good. You'll find your style, as they say, eventually, or you'll just enjoy trying all kinds of things and have a wide variety of skills when it comes to rendering and creating things. Just don't worry too much about it. Once you learn the fundamentals, you can kind of do anything you want. Okay, and that wraps us up. Thanks for watching my video and for saying hi to my cat. I hope that you really enjoyed this. Like, comment, and subscribe. And shout out to my friend who specifically requested this video. And remember, you can always request any sort of video from me, and I will do my best to do a tutorial regarding that subject. And thanks again for watching. Bye-bye!